everyone. Welcome to the Therapist Hot Seat. Today I'm sitting here with Shift Collab Therapist Arpita. Super excited to chat with you today and to get to know you a little bit better.
Hey. Hey everyone, my name's Arpita. I'm a therapist here at Shift. I support adults that have suffered trauma who are now experiencing anxiety, depression, and relationship issues. Thanks for having me.
You're so welcome. All right. Are you ready to get into our burning question round?
I am ready.
Okay, first question. It's a rainy weekend. How are you spending your time?
I would have to say cuddled on the sofa with a big fuzzy blanket, watching any one of the 100 streaming services that I have.
So the best way is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Okay, question 2. What was the last gift that you gave someone?
The last gift I gave somebody was my best friend's birthday, and I gave her a 90-minute facial. Self-care.
That is so nice of you. Yeah, what a great gift. I need to become besties with Arpita, clearly.
Yes.
Okay, question 3. If you could read one book for the rest of your life, what would it be?
That's a good question. I have to say I really enjoyed Educated.
Okay, me too.
Really, really enjoyed it. So inspiring, right? Just such a
Yeah.
feel good towards the end, but just as you're reading it, you're going through all the emotions. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, for those that haven't read it, highly recommend as well. It's not typically what falls into my niche of books. I don't know about you, Arpita, but I saw her on an interview somewhere on some talk show, and just the way the story unfolds is just such a life that we could never be exposed to. And to see all the events that happened to lead to what is a happy ending, I will say, no spoiler alerts. But yeah, incredible read. I'm with you on that one. Yeah, awesome.
Sure.
Okay, question number 4. If you could have dinner with a famous person, who would it be?
That's a good question. But I would have to say Oprah. And
yes,
I'm sure
of course.
And I'm sure that's probably like an over stated answer. But I've just been watching her show since I can remember. And I know she doesn't have her own show anymore. But I just find her inspiring, so down to earth. Almost like she's your friend, even though we don't know her, right?
Yes, I'm right there with you. It's probably such an overstated answer, but I don't think anyone would say otherwise. Like, who doesn't want to meet Oprah? We grew up with her.
Absolutely.
Okay, question number 5. If you weren't a therapist, what other career would you dive into?
I would say for sure baker, or like a pastry chef.
Okay.
That is my passion on the side. I love baking. I love creating. So that would definitely be. But I would think tad bit early mornings for Arpita. So I'm not sure that would. I'm not sure I could wake up at 4 a.m. and start baking. So I think I'll stick to therapy.
I love that. Okay, I didn't know that about you. I need to come over and we need to bake together, or you can just bake for me while I sit there and chat with you.
Come on over.
Love it. Okay. Now, those were our hot seat questions. So now I have 2 more therapy in-depth questions to ask you here now. So question 1, why do you think therapy is still stigmatized, and how can we break down the barriers?
Great question. I want to start off by saying that I do think that we're making progress in the stigma area. You're absolutely right. There's still such a stigma attached to it, especially more so in certain cultures than others. And I think the stigma stems from maybe a misunderstanding of what actually happens in therapy, right? And I think people have a lot of preconceived notions around, well, why would I go and air out my dirty laundry to a stranger, right? I can figure it out on my own, right? People that go to therapy, there's something wrong with them, they're crazy, right? There are a lot of, I think, just misconceptions about it. And I think doing what we're doing here, talking about it, advocating for it, talking about it on social media, I think that's really a great way for it to become something that everyone talks about, right? We go to the doctor when we're not feeling well, when there's something wrong with us physically. So why not reach out? And really, even if you're not struggling mentally, why not just reach out? Who doesn't want a little bit of support, validation, and just a safe space to explore whatever it is that you're going through?
Yeah, you hit such a great point there. I think that therapy has just become something that we go to for like problem solving and issues and, deep dark secrets. But I think what a lot of people don't understand is it could be a great way to like maintain goals and set motivation for yourself and have, positive conversations. And, you don't always need to deep dive into those things that are, harmful and scary and upsetting. It often does reroute there, but they can also be conversations of happiness and celebratory. So I think that rewriting that story, it's going to take a bit of work, but I'm super excited to have therapists like you here that do that for us. So thanks for that answer.
No, thank you.
Okay, question 2. What's one piece of advice you'd give to someone who is thinking about starting therapy but afraid to make the first step?
It's going to seem probably a little obvious, but just do it, right? Set up that meet and greet, set up the initial assessment, just do it, right? It's often, like a lot of things, not as scary as you think it's going to be once you've done it, right? Just giving it a chance, right? Because again, going back to the preconceived notions, if you've never done it, you don't really know what it entails. And it's certainly, it can be very overwhelming and daunting to even take that first step. But the first step is often the hardest step to take. Once you've taken it, then hopefully you find the right fit. We've got amazing therapists here at Shift. So you find the right person for you and, book it in. And there you go. Hopefully weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, it all of a sudden becomes something that you look forward to.
Yeah, you're so right. It's always the fear of the unknown, right? You never know what you're getting into. You've never started before. So, not to copyright Nike, but just do it. Just dive in, take that step, and you never know where it's going to lead you, and it's going to lead to positive things. So do it anyway. But couldn't agree more. Thanks so much, Arpita.
Thank you so much for having me.